it's time for some book recommendations. And the books I want to talk about are really kind of the basic of yoga. So when people ask me what books to get when it comes to yoga, these are I guess, the more traditional ones. So it's not about the poses and alignments, but really a bit more of how the yoga we know today, how that kind of came about, I guess. And one of the classics is the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. And there are millions of different translations and commentary. And obviously, these are kind of texts that have been around for a long, long time. So, for those of us who speak different languages, it can be challenging to translate certain things and certain meanings. And these books here are in Sanskrit, and obviously from the Sanskrit it's in how you pronounce it, and then it's translated into English, and then there is a commentary. So you want to probably look in a few different books when it comes to these kind of text, so that the translation and the commentary is something that you connect with personally. And I like this one from Swami Satchidananda because he kind of commentary is quite modern. And Patanjali, we don't really know who it is, or maybe several people, who knows. But this is kind of the text on yoga, the philosophy of yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga, so the yamas and the niyamas. So really I guess I sometimes say it's like a lifestyle, the yoga lifestyle or life philosophy. And as you can see, I have lots of little notes of the places where I think something really interesting is written. But basically the kind of the main thing is the first very chapter talks about what is yoga. Now we're going to talk about what yoga is, and the second verse is yoga chitti vritti nirodha, and that is yoga is the settling of the mind into silence, or the restraint of the modifications of the mind stuff is yoga. So that stillness of the mind is yoga, and basically this is the text on how to get there. And I think it's actually really interesting because this is not about the asana or about yoga poses as we know in a yoga class, but the only asana they talk about in this text is Padmasana or Sukhasana. So asana as a seat where you can sit and contemplate and meditate. So another text, again, obviously a text that I really like, is the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, and I think this is maybe more towards how we look at yoga today if you go to a yoga class, because this is really, again, this here we talk a little bit about asana, not a lot. So there are meditation poses, there are Gomukhasana, cow pose. So there are some yoga poses in it, but not that many. And again, it talks a lot more about the breath. It talks about ways to kind of cleanse the body, to clean the mind. And again, there are millions of different translations of that. And it kind of is the same thing of it's written in Sanskrit, it's translated, and then there's a long commentary on it as well. So again, you want to find someone that you connect with. But here, just this little one I opened up on is about digestion is strengthened by continual regular practice, and therefore the practitioner should always have sufficient food. So this is if you're a yoga practitioner. If one takes only a little food, the heat produced by the digestion will destroy the system. Therefore, on the first day, one should only stay a moment with the feet up and hip down. And this is if you practice shoulder stand. So it talks about Mula Bandha. It talks about different bandhas. It talks about the nadis, so the energetic channels. So it's quite a practical book if you practice yogasana, or yoga as we kind of think of it as today. So these are kind of, I think probably, if it's not, they should definitely both be on any yoga teacher training course. And if you like a little bit more than just stretching, and you know your yoga class is a bit more than stretching, there's something else behind it, these two books are great. And then obviously kind of the text probably it all arose from is the Bhagavad Gita, which again is one of those books with lots of underlinings and lots of lots of folded marks, because this is, I just like this one. This is a small text, but you can get the bigger books. I have several bigger texts as well of this one, but I'll just share this one for now because this is just easy. You can bring it along with you and you can just kind of open up anywhere, and there's something enlightening on that. Yeah, so those are the kind of, I have lots of books on yoga and philosophy and yogic philosophy, but these are 3 good ones. So if you are thinking about doing a yoga teacher training course or just you enjoy yoga, I'm sure these 3 texts will be on the curriculum that you will discuss that in any yoga teacher training course. And even if you're not on a yoga teacher training course, they are really kind of the basis of how we think of yoga today. So happy reading.